Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. How receptive are you? Now, you remember I talked about having, that little tight body that puts men in a mild trance. That's your best weapon to get a guy. Seriously, that's your best weapon. Shit. Nice, sexy body, and some clothes that show off like certain body parts. Shit, we come a running. All sense run out of us because, all the blood rushes from our head down to our penis and stuff. So we lose all sense. That's the only way we would logically get married. I'm saying logically because it's like if we think about it too much, we just like, oh, I ain't marrying this woman. I ain't even coming over there, But you can have the tightest body. You can have a killer body. I mean, you could go in a room of 100 men, put them into a trance with your body. But you got to be receptive to them approaching. See, understand something, right? The nature of a woman is to draw men to her. The nature of femininity is a magnet to draw. The feminine energy isn't active. The feminine energy is still. It's that iceberg waiting for the sun to come out, to melt it, to act on it. It's the dam waiting for that rush of water to come hit it. It's that, it's the earth waiting for a shovel to break it through, Now, it might look enticing. Look, you might look very enticing, pretty face, killer body. You got the big breasts, and, nice old butt dunk, nice shapely legs, something. You'll have something that's going to draw some guy. And there's actually a deeper meaning behind all of that, but that's actually something I had to do on my metaphysics channel, on my deep thought channel. And I've talked about it before. I forgot what I called the podcast, but I talked about that before, but it's a powerful thing. But what good is all of that if you're defensive around men? And I'm going to tell you how deep that is, because the nature of y'all, and y'all know this, when y'all around men that you ain't feeling, they might not have the looks you like or the financial class you like or whatever your cultural preference is. Y'all very defensive. You're defensive. When you going to walk through them, I ain't going to be switching or anything. You going to be walking quick, hard, everything, with a look on your face like you might like slap the hell out of them if they even say, good morning to you or something, right? But then when you around, in that moment, you're not receptive. But then when you're around a bunch of men you find attractive and they got the social things that you want in a man, you walking a bit slower. It's a bit more of a flow with your butt dunk. You smiling more. You're receptive. And that's the key. That's really the key. That's why you get some women who might not have as tight a body. They might not look as good, but they receptive. It's why a man could marry a very beautiful woman, like physically beautiful, but she might be an Amazon, and she might be defensive all the time. Even when they having sex, she ain't totally receptive. She just going through the motions. And then that same guy, he's like, man, got this beautiful woman. But then he go down to the local coffee shop. You got a server down there who don't look as good. And she, all right, don't have as tight a body, but she receptive, and make her look even better than the wife, because he'll talk. He's like, well, you know what, she ain't as fine, but damn, she receptive. That's the key to sex appeal for a woman. That's the key to sex appeal. Now remember, I said, I always tell the men, work on their body, work on their charisma, their personability. That's what I'm gonna start calling, just being personable, and then work on their masculinity, right? Well, yeah, I gotta do the same thing. The body, how personable you are. It's like, and that's part of like your charisma is more, just being receptive. Like if a guy says something to you, as long as he's polite, you like, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, how you doing? Just friendly and stuff. And then, just being feminine, which is more receptive in its natural state, you know. And it's like, are you receptive like that? And I'm gonna tell you what, something that really make a woman sexy, cause it was a pic I saved on my IG. I got it in my save collection, right? It was a young lady. Now she had a shapely body, but she wasn't dressed. She didn't have on like some short dress or showing her ass or body. In fact, she was covered up really. I mean, she had on some leggings where you could see her basic shape. You couldn't really get an idea of her breastises, but a lot of guys went crazy over her. I saw the comments; they were going crazy over this woman. And what was it about her? What was it about her? She was smiling. She seemed receptive. She gave off a vibe like if somebody went to say hi to her, she'll at least be polite in saying hi back. Now, that's not saying, she going to get turned on or she'll fall for everything. She probably wouldn't. But she'll be friendly enough. She's broadcasting something that says, I won't bite your head off if you approach. And let's be real out here, ladies. Let's be real. You gotta give off that vibe if you want to get the guy. Now, I understand there's some low-level guys out there who haven't quite evolved that you don't want them talking to you. But even then, you gotta think about if you're defensive and you're not receptive, you might keep them away, but you also keep the good ones away as well. There's a lot of good guys who will see a woman, and that guy could be everything the woman wants. And not just in personality, like looks, everything. Got everything the woman want, but he's looking at her. It's like, nah, she ain't smiling. She don't seem receptive. He ain't gonna go over there. Like I remember one time, this woman was, me and this woman were having a conversation, right? We were having a conversation, and she said she asked me, gave me a hypothetical scenario. She said, what if I go into a club and I see a woman sitting at the bar, her, she ain't looking and she ain't smiling, her arms are folded, would I approach her? And I was like, no. And it wasn't even about the choosing thing. I was just saying she don't seem receptive. She seemed like she wants to keep people away. Now, that receptive is very important. Now, of course, like I said, you're going to get some guys come at you a certain way that you ain't feeling. But if you receptive in a certain way, and even if they approach, you can still handle those guys in such a way that they'll understand you ain't trying to get with them, but they'll be cool, And because I've known some women real cool guys could approach them and everything, they ain't interested, but the way they carried it, the women could tell those guys to go to hell, and the guys will look forward to the trip. Because the receptive thing is just simply if they approach. And you like just say, hey, how you doing? Just friendly and real nice. You might just say, I can, or, whatever. If you do it in a nice way, a lot of guys, most guys really, will be cool with it. They'll be like, oh, okay, because you ain't making them feel bad. But in all honesty, a lot of times there's only a few of them that are actually going to do it. But the guys that you want to approach, you got to give off that signal that, you'll be receptive to them approaching. It's an energy thing. It comes out. It make them feel like, because, guys real concerned about rejection anyway. And they, a lot of times, especially astute guys, they're going to look first. And if they getting a vibe like, you're defensive and all of that, very few guys are going to want to come through. In fact, what's deep is it's usually the crazy ones who will go for it anyway. So that's why some women still get that. They're all defensive and everything and giving off an attitude and like, don't touch me. Those are guys who will come for you. And then the guys you actually want, they'd be like, nah, I ain't even going to go through it. It's not a matter of, and you know what? It's not even a matter they scared. Sometimes you'll find with some of the better men, they just being respectful. They was like, oh, she don't look like she want to be approached. I'm going to respect her space. So think about it. How receptive are you? Now, I know it's tough because, like I said, depending on where you are, you might have to be defensive. And I had a woman tell me that too. Like a lot of stuff I'm telling y'all, I talked about with different women. already, like over the years. And they'll give me the angle. So that's why I always keep in mind whenever I tell you something, tell y'all something. I already went over it with some women somewhere. And, you know, women said, yeah, but, and this was a woman, trust me, she could put a whole room of men into a trance. But, you know, and she was actually fairly receptive if you were friendly to her. Fairly, but she said sometimes you gotta be defensive. And I understand that, but then try to think more in terms of how receptive you are. And you might be surprised. You know, you might be surprised. So, you know, something to think about. How receptive are you? Very key piece. So anyway, y'all, I'll talk to y'all. Peace.